at me now. I've said nothing that strikes me down. I'll wear a golden crown with great pride.
Hello everybody, my name is Maize and welcome to the first of probably 3 of these, or probably more that are going to come in the future. But essentially, I wanted to go through all of my music at some point and essentially just explain different parts of it, different meanings, some behind the scenes stuff, and also lyrics. I actually have all the lyrics to each individual song pulled up on my phone that I just have kind of placed right here, so I could take a look and also just kind of see where everything's at. It's been let's see, how long has it been since? It's been about a year since I made this. And actually the More and More album that's coming out or is already out, I'm not sure when I'm gonna put this video out, but the More and More album was actually supposed to come out about a year ago, because I first announced it to like my friends and stuff, just like, oh yeah, I'm working on a full album. For now, this is just these few songs that I want to release, and then I'm gonna put out a whole album. It took about a year, and gotta say, worth it. Completely worth it. It was the worst. The worst part about uploading music is by far the end of it, where you have to make sure you get the video, put it in, put the picture for the album cover, make sure it's all overlaid good, make sure the sound quality doesn't mess up in the video, all that kind of stuff. I am waiting on a new drum head for my bass drum before I start making music, and I'm also going to be having a studio here soon that hopefully will be well, not soon, but it will take some work. It will take a lot of effort. But yeah, if you don't see me making a ton of music at all in the near future, that is why, because I'm mostly going to be waiting to get all that stuff in. Drum head, soundproofing an entire room, kind of rebuilding an entire room, decorations, moving stuff, and just a whole ton of other things that have to do with all that. But yeah, I'm going to be moving an entire drum set and a lot of instruments, and probably getting some more instruments if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, just want to give some updates as we're here. And yeah, I really wanted to go back to the Amaizeing and see some stuff I did wrong, see some stuff I liked, disliked, hated. Yeah. And so yeah, we're gonna go through each individual song. The Amaizeing, In the Maze, Ultimate, Crunchy Boy, Jump and Rave, Done by Design, and ending off with the remix, which I actually do plan on making more remixes. I should be making one for the More and More album, and maybe some other stuff as well. I don't plan on doing anything with the Love EP that I put out a while back. Not just yet, I should say. I'm waiting for some stuff, and you'll all see what that's all about here in like 2 years at the very least. But yeah, so here we are, the Amaizeing EP explained. Let's hop right into it. Also, I will be cutting out any parts where I'm not saying anything, because that just makes sense. I'll leave a link to the full playlist in the description below, and there's no one featured in this EP, so otherwise I would have everyone linked. But yeah, let's hop right into this, starting off with the Amaizeing. And if I do remember this correctly, it's done one of them.
I think it's time that you know me, and I'll show you all what I
Yeah.
can be. I'll make something that you all can see. We'll raise the temperature to the next degree.
I was not really good when it came to my breath, and you could tell easily right there.
I'll make something that you all can see. We'll raise the temperature to the next degree.
You could tell that I wasn't breathing that entire first part there. And I've gotten better breathing tactics. I've also gotten better at singing in a way. And I did really like the style that I put on this song. The whole, I think it's time that you know me, and I'll show you all what I can be. I'll make something that you all can see, or raise the temperature to the next degree. Like that kind of thing. I really like the voice. I was originally going to have multiple voices and do kind of like an act with each song. So like with Crunchy Boy, it would be sang by a different voice, and Ultimate would be sang by another different voice, and then the Amaizeing or In the Maze would be sang by the main guy. But early on, I did get rid of that, and you could still see some examples of what I mean by the different characters in a sense, or the different voices. And for those of you who have looked at my band lab, you will note that this album cover was not the original album cover, and it actually looked let me get it out. Go to my albums, you go down to the Amaizeing, and then you see that was the original logo. It was supposed to be an M with a red A and with like a weird, I guess, TV static-ish effect, or a possessed TV effect. Yeah, that didn't really work out. And I decided to make something better. And I'm way more happy with this design than I am the other design, because, oh my god, it looks great. And also the background's just amazing. See what I do? They're amazing. But yeah, let's continue.
That I can decree or disagree. All of your pleas, you bourgeoisie, and you marquis. When I foresee the happening with all the things. Yeah.
I did have a really big obsession, and I still have this obsession to a lesser degree now, with just creating these parts of verses and choruses, or just whatever part of the song that just has a crap ton of rhyming words in quick succession. It all started with this song, because that I can decree or disagree all of your pleas, you bourgeoisie and you marquis, when I foresee the happening with all the things. Yeah, I just had a great obsession with just having a lot of rhymes in one condensed area, because I love when things rhyme. It's so phonetically pleasing for me, and also it's just makes everything sound better, at least to me. Obviously, you don't always have to be rhyming in a song to make it sound good. Look at half the rock metal genre in general. Um, but yeah. And originally, I was supposed to actually have a chorus using this part. And with that part, it was really funny, because like, I don't even have the chorus listed here. With a lot of stuff when it comes to the lyrics that I have in my documents, I will tend to keep the old stuff and leave in the old stuff, and just skip over stuff. Like with the end of that verse saying "with all the things," it was originally supposed to be "with all of the things." Very minor detail, and there was supposed to be a chorus here in that instrumental part, but I scrapped it because it just didn't sound good with the song. So what ended up happening is just I just left the instrumental there as a sort of bridge to the next verse, and rather than having a chorus or anything. But yeah,
I'm the one and only ultimate Tonian, and I'm so good I'll send you back to the Tonian. Let me ask a question, but I'll have to leave you guessing before I'll have to go in a money regression.
the line "money regression" is super just funny to me, but I'm pretty sure only the people that know me really understand, or not even the people that know me really understand the send you back to the Tonian line, because everyone calls me Tono, so just having that as I'm the ultimate Tonian play on Tono, obviously, but and I'm so good I'll send you back to the Tonian. That the Tonian is a period in the Precambrian era before like life really happened and occurred. Uh, so in this line, I'm essentially saying I'm so good that I'll send you back to where there wasn't any life. I'll send you back to that era before life began, or I'll send you back to so far that I'm just so far ahead of you. It's a nice little play, and then Ultimate Tonian, Old Tono, a nice little reference to my first channel.
Ascertainable, maybe I am trainable, conversational, I too am erasable, sensational, I am just too avocational,
nice,
generational, I am
another
very
example
educational,
of that
gravitational, I am very inspirational,
condensed
observational, I
rhyme
too am
scheme.
vocational. It's my first time yet I am back.
The the it's my first time yet I am back is not really in reference to anything in particular. This is my first set of music that I ever made, but I guess what I was trying to get at is that I've just been around for so long, or that I've had this idea of doing music for so long, or that maybe it's a reference to my first channel that, oh hey, it's my first time making music, but I'm back, as in I'm back in the sense of I'm here now and I'm making music. Here we are, you know. And the next line,
I'll change the tono and make it whack.
tono is Spanish for tone, and I just really wanted to use that line and also make a nice play again on my nickname Tono. Um, so yeah, I'll change the tone and make it whack is essentially how it would be in English, but nice little play there. And
I'm amazing like corn, standing up tall, push you off a plane just to watch people fall.
again, another loss of breath. Push you off a plane just to watch people fall. The amazing like corn, Maize in the way that it's spelled on the channel in SoundCloud, BandLab, whatever. Maize is in reference to corn maze, and not like a corn maze where you walk in through and get lost, but maze of corn, which is just like essentially a stalk of corn. Uh, so not only is it a play on a maze of corn, corn maze, and also obviously it's saying I'm amazing, amazing, in reference to the EP song, the Maze Alter title, and yeah, it's a really good play that I made, and I completely forgot that I made that.
No parachute, well that'll do. I could twist your sound to make you sound askew, but I don't know what I will be because sometimes no one else can see.
Before we get into this next part, push you off a plane just to watch people fall. No parachute, well that'll do. I could twist your sound to make you sound askew. That was originally one of the lines supposed to be voiced by another one of the other voices. Actually, each of these verses was supposed to be done by another one of the characters, and I actually have it up here, a small remnant of that, where you could see that it says verse 1 all tono. So essentially, I was supposed to have three characters in here, uh, and you could also see in verse 2 that saying Maize. So verse 1 was supposed to be Ultona, verse 2 was supposed to be Maize Altar, and I oh that's verse 3. Uh, but yeah, verse 1 was supposed to be Ultona, verse 2 was supposed to also be Ultona, and then verse 3 was Maize Altar. But originally I was going to have an extra verse, and it was supposed to be another character that is more of an inside joke character, so to speak. It was Bob the Sandwich. It's from a really old story that me and my good friend Jafishvi made in third grade, I believe. I made the original The Sandwich, but then we kept going from there, and I believe from third to fourth, we just kept making sequels of that cringe book. Then we tried to remake it in more of a book format that's still just all over the place. Uh, but we never finished it, and we never really worked on it again. Um, but it's a really fun.
And he's supposed to talk like this, like he's supposed to have a voice like this, but he's really fucking violent, and he likes to say cuss words, and he's also just the worst person to ever be around. He may be like 2 foot tall because he's a sandwich, with like arms and legs, but he's just the worst, man. The absolute worst.
And yeah, I was supposed to be rapping with that voice on, which I could probably do slower raps.
Because he also has a lisp, a sort, and so whenever he says things like grilled cheese,
It just sounds way different. I could probably do something like that now, but back when I was first making this,
it was the absolute worst to try and do that, man. I'm telling you.
so that's when I decided to just scrap it, and I'll just do everything else the way I have it. Because it's way easier. But yeah. And some of the lines that
Bob the Sandwich
was supposed to do here still made it into this verse, and also into some other songs. Like, I ended up spreading it out across a bunch of other songs. So him pushing you off a plane just to watch people fall, no parachute, well, that'll do. Was supposed to be a Bob the Sandwich line. And yeah, it was a relic of a bygone age, luckily.
Something that I need to do.
Another thing with that, the something that I need to do, that wasn't my voice, and it wasn't intentional in the slightest, which is why I never edited this song after I first made it, because I knew if I re-recorded it, I would not have that mistake there, because it still ends up within
Because
time.
sometimes no one else can see something that I need to.
It still fits within the time. It also just kind of sounds good. It's like a little bit of not really scratch, but it's a nice little mistake that I wanted to keep in there because it just sounded nice with the song. And I even edited the lyrics to keep that mistake in there, so that I would remember anytime I looked at the lyrics that, oh yeah, don't edit this song at all. And I also didn't have it in the remix as well, which we'll get on to later, for that express purpose. And yeah,
You just remember that these songs are all here for you.
that is the beginning of my, I guess, shtick as Maize Altar. You'll find that in a lot of songs I plan on having a line that I just always use all the time, and that's essentially the "always gonna be here when I'm here for you," which I think first debuted in the Funky Taco.
The shells smell like taco hell. I'll get the scent, die and ring the bell. Don't go to the ICU too, cause I'm always gonna be here when I'm here for you.
Actually, but was originally made in, I believe, Fat fast rap, either fast rap and then it wasn't used, or another one from the More and More album, and I just kept using it over and over. I'm just like, this sounds good, and then I eventually just kept it. You'll know it's my song, or that it's me whenever I have that "always gonna be here when I'm here for you" line. And this was the beginning of that. Just remember that these songs are all here for you. Um, I guess I must have subconsciously reached back to this line whenever I was doing everything else, because I never meant for that to become my shtick. But yeah, that is probably the origin and the original start of that line that I ended up reusing from everywhere else. But yeah, there's the Amaizeing, and you could subtly hear everything get louder as time goes on. I was really experimenting with BandLab at this point in time, and I really wanted to see what I can do with the system and the software to see how far I could push it, how I could make my songs different, sound better. And all of this was just made out of sample music. So, and in the future, More and More and a few other songs are probably going to be not the last, but the last in a main era where I'm only using samples, because in the future I'll most likely have stuff done on my drums, bongos, maracas, harmonica, just as I've done a few other songs with the samples. I'll just add stuff on. I really hope that I could get like maybe a band going at some point, or just have everything done in a better way. If I get a keyboard, that would also really help, which I'm planning on doing. But yeah, you'll see a lot of experimentation in these songs, and with this one, it happened to be the raising and lowering of sound. As you can hear, everything get louder progressively, and then it hits the instrumental and it goes back down. So yeah, that was the Amaizeing. On to the next song, which is In the Maze, which I am way less proud of. Way less proud of.
I'm the king of the herds, and I heard you have stuff of me, saddled with my rhymes running as I am winning, bridled with my starlight and my shining soul. 10,000 years to come will help me reach my goal, the bone-headed king, and I'm never getting old. If you reply to my call, I'll admit you're very bold. Sometimes I'll be hot and other times I'm cold, and whenever I spit my rhymes, I'll make yours look like mold. Are you sold?
Okay. This is painful for me to listen to, if I'm keeping it real. I'd like it's not even on beat. How did I think this was good enough to be released, man? Essentially, In the Maze was one of the worst songs to try and record. It wasn't as absolutely terrible as like Crunchy Boy was, but it was one of the worst to record because everything kept messing up. Also, I wanted to make this a lot faster of a song. It was probably supposed to go at what, like, not 1.5 times speed, but just a little bit higher. And let me back up a little bit.
Heard you have stuff of me, saddled with my rhymes running as I am winning, bridled with my starlight and my shining soul. 10,000 years to come will help me reach my goal.
Yeah, it was actually supposed to be faster than it was, but I didn't really like the beat of the song, and I also wasn't able to keep up at the time. Like, now I'd be able to easily keep up. I'm the king of the herds, and I heard you stuff of me, saddled with my rhymes running as I am winning. Like, it's a lot easier now. Oh my god. It's a lot easier now for me to keep up with beats than it was when I first started with this stuff. And Also, nice little fun fact. Um, the first few lines, all the way if onto if you reply to my call, I'll admit you very bold. That entire like the first half of the first verse was actually from a poem I was supposed to do based off of this holiday. I can't remember what the holiday was called, but essentially this one where these people dress this one person up with a horse head and just this skeleton horse goes to your door and you essentially have to rap battle. Yeah, you have to make a poem of why the horse skeleton can't enter into your house because if they win, then they get to steal all your food and raid your entire pantry essentially. And if you lose, they get to raid your stuff. And if you win, they have to move on to the next house. I actually still have a line from here that, or I still have a line from that poem that wasn't used in here because I had no need for it, and I still have no need for it. At least not yet. But yeah, it was a really fun poem to make. I myself have never seen or partaken in that tradition, but I just like it so much that I ended up making that, and it was really fun to do that.
Come before the storm as I ask to come within, and if you don't mind, you will let me in.
That last one was also from that rhyme.
If you don't like me, well, tough luck, cause I'ma hit you with my rhymes like a pickup truck. Also,
Oh, the lack of pacing. Like, I still made it on time, but. Cause I'ma hit you with my rhymes like a pickup truck. You could hear me start to accelerate.
tough luck, cause I'ma hit you with my rhymes like a pickup truck. Also,
This is painful. This song is painful.
if you wanna,
Th-
I
this-
don't really
the
like
remix
people
does
think they
way
got all
better
that.
justice
I
for
don't
this
know. It
song
must
than
be the stupid
this
hats
song
with
does.
a chance. You don't wanna be seen as rust, cause you'll be left behind in the dust. It is now the end of your days, cause you look like you're lost in the maze.
Whew. The only thing done good, I have to say, is the chorus.
Even if you go scream and shout, there will be no more getting out, bruh. Watch there be a joke about that line, cause now I'm gonna have to leave you all behind.
That line would have been way more funny if I actually delivered it correctly, because it was just like, oh yeah, because even if you scream and shout, there will be no more getting out. Um, it was supposed to be like, oh, he has someone in his basement or whatever. He has someone locked in his house, which is why I was just like, oh yeah, why would there be a joke about that line? But that clearly worked.
I'm insane, deranged on 12 pounds of cocaine, knowing that I'm mental, all up in the brain. Sorry, poacher, that I had to steal your rhyme. It was just so good, and I gotta get more time.
Oh my god. The insane deranged on 12 pounds of cocaine. I did steal that from my boy Fam Salad. Originally, we were going to release intros, so to speak, at the same time, so then we could be like, oh yeah, we're friends, we work together on stuff, we're cool like that. So I was supposed to release the Amaizeing, and he was supposed to release a thing called They Call Me the Poacher. And at the time we were having like essentially rap names for ourselves, in which mine ended up being Maize Alter. It was originally going to be Altano and then some other name. I can't remember what it was. Like, oh yeah, one of my uncle's old nicknames for me, which was Little T. But with how many rappers have little and just something else at the end, I decided not to. So then I ended up with Maize Alter. So in his intro, he did create the line, "I'm insane, deranged on 12 pounds of cocaine." I added the knowing that I'm mental all up in the brain, but I did steal that line, and I'm just like, oh yeah, sorry that I stole the line. It was just so good. He still has not released a single one of his own songs that has lyrics in it. Uh, so I guess I got away with that scot-free. Because I think the only song that I've worked with him on that has his lyrics has to be two songs from the More and More album and Fast Rap X. And that's about it. Oh yeah, and also Icy Butterflies and Icy Butterfly Queen. Or King, sorry. But yeah, let's keep going.
You don't want to be seen.
Oh,
as Russ,
thank God it's
'cause you'll
over.
be left back. You
The
look like
motif
you
on this
lost
one was
in
that
the
I
maze.
was experimenting
You don't wanna be
with
seen,
filters,
Russ,
and I
'cause you'll
ended
be
up
left
stumbling
behind
upon
in
the
dust. It is now the end of your
echo
days, 'cause
filter,
you look like you're lost in the maze.
and also layered voices on top and overlay different things. And it was mostly after this song that I ended up more so finding a sort of, not a niche, but my own style, so to speak. Yeah, very nice. Not this song, but. And now we're on to Ultimate, my favorite song out of this entire EP. Out of everything I've done, this one. Absolutely gorgeous piece of artwork right here. Beautiful. Really wanted to do a rap metal sort of theme. That was going to be my original theme of the type of music I created. I was gonna make rock beats, cool rock beats, and then just rap over them, which obviously worked for Ultimate. And I do have some more of those style songs as well. But for the most part, yeah. And I would say that since then I have gotten a little more out there when it comes to my style. Most of it is rap, yes, but the style of each individual song and what I'm doing is usually completely different from each individual thing. And I really like that about my style in general, because it's just kind of all over the place. It could be whatever. I did make it out to be more of a rap metal type thing in this EP, only to realize that, hey, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to be confined to one genre or one style. I could just do whatever. And so I did. And now we're here. Stay tuned for the Ultimate remix.
I'll show you some rock and maybe we can talk about all the lies that try to untie the old community when they are turned to be something they cannot see or will not see coming.
This whole voice of the
I will show you some rock and maybe we can talk about all the lies that try to untie.
that was originally supposed to be that Altono style voice. It was supposed to be higher pitched, but a little more gritty, I guess. It was supposed to have that rock oomph. You know what I mean? I did not end up keeping that voice, obviously, but every now and then I will have it pop up. Like in Ultimatum, I had it pop up in a sense in the park bench and certified dope park bench that I did, and I'll probably have it pop up in the future. It's not going to be like a common thing, but it will happen every now and then. because I just like that style of voice to use every now and then. It's really fun, but it does kind of hurt my throat, so I'm not going to be using it often in the slightest. Again, messing around with overlaying multiple different things. And I was actually going for a Metallica-esque transition, because the transitions are always really smooth and really good, and I think you reach a similar consensus with that transition and everything with Ultimate, honestly.
People will always say that rock isn't hip today. Keep those people at bay and make them want to pray.
You might be wondering why I went, that rock, or that rock, and I said it like that. It's because I had a really difficult time with that voice, and also with the microphone catching it, because anytime I'd be like, with rock that isn't hip, or that rock isn't hip today, for whatever reason it just wouldn't capture the rock part. And when I had the voice on, sometimes it would sound like I had a W instead of an R. So that rock isn't hip today, that rock isn't hip today, it kind of ended up being like that. And so I had to put an emphasis on it. That rock isn't hip today. You know what I mean? But yeah.
People just misconstrue. All of rock music's true. Intention to believe, strive to overachieve.
Intention to believe and strive to over. That was also a really difficult part in that song. Was intention to believe. Like, I could easily do it now, but it was really difficult at the time.
They are all saying this. Isn't that what they say? A lot of the song Christian, and we don't try to sin.
The original line there was actually, we don't even try to sin, which, again, minor detail, but I actually do have it in the remix. You'll find that a lot of scrapped things from these songs are in the remix. Also, originally this entire song was supposed to be sung like the first verse, so like, people will misconstrue, all of rock music's true, intention to believe and strive to overachieve, but that didn't really work out with how I wanted it, and it didn't sound as good as it could have, so I scrapped it and I just did that. And honestly, yeah, it sounds infinitely better. In this entire EP, I did get recommendations from people, and one of those recommendations was to have more angry, loud, and screaming type voice. I tried that, and at first I was just like, oh yeah, this sounds good, but I think I was just lying to myself, because it didn't sound good. Oh yeah, right here. You could hear in the background that we. Another example of just things for whatever reason messing up and keeping a nice little mistake that was
does want to know something that
it was great. Never expected that, never intended on that, but it worked.
Yeah,
actually.
To be the ultimate.
I was actually supposed to be, that was actually supposed to be on the outro, the we must work together to be the ultimate. It was supposed to be at the outro, so at the very end of the song, it was supposed to just be like, we have to work together to be the ultimate, with like no music essentially on there, and then the laugh would just be a nice ending to the song. But I'm very glad that I didn't do that and just ended with this, because that made room for me to do Ultimatum. And now the remix that I still have to put together, but that's easy enough, honestly. But yeah, Ultimate. After the absolute dumpster fire that was in the Maize, Ultimate just brings everything back. It's so good. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'll be right back, because we gotta take a break. Yeah, let's get on into the next song, which is Crunchy Boy. Another song of that rap metal type genre, which again, I really like it. And this was probably the other absolutely cancerous song for me to record. It's not it. Sorry, it's just not it.
Music recently has been interesting. I think they all suck, but that's just me. Maybe not all of them, but I can agree to music that is fresh, released, and free. Too many beats going on at once, and just 'cause someone can take an insult, and most of it is to get attention. And here I am struggling to get a mention. Tension, a lot going around.
Aside from the absurdly loud tension, gotta say, this is very much outdated because originally, when I wrote the song, in the first part, it was fresh off the Eminem versus MGK drama that went down. Then eventually I moved it on to Gen Z versus Eminem type stuff going down. I never really touched on Snoop Dogg versus Eminem because I thought that was just dumb. And I'm a bit biased towards Snoop Dogg already, so I didn't want to say anything because I know I have hot takes when it comes to that specific drama. But yeah, I also point out that a lot of the time fans just keep like egging it on, kind of just like, oh, you're just gonna take that, you're just gonna take that, and just be like, oh yeah, what if you don't respond, you're just the worst or whatever. And how fans just keep egging these musicians on, even though it should just be between the musicians themselves. And you'll see that a bit more in but yeah. And also how smaller rappers will sometimes use bigger rappers so that they can get more attention and become bigger. So, and Eminem actually makes a reference to that sort of phenomena in one of his songs where it's like, lose-lose for me, win-win for you, millions of views, your 10 cents are 2, I believe that was a line. But yeah, it you can tell how old this is. This was made, and then I just didn't make this for like several years because, again, this was made last year.
Especially with the fans who are about to go down and drown in some stupid stuff. Always over here acting like they're tough. Look at me, I'm in a beef with a big rapper that's pointing at me, so everyone give me attention, please.
Again,
Nah.
you see in the remix that all the original parts to this song, honestly.
Rappers recently are trying to flaunt, acting as if they know how to taunt. Oh, here you go, I got to show all the fans how tough I am. No one really cares how tough you are as long as you make music and spit those bars. They act like the career will get hurt even though the legacy is already burnt into the ground, into the stones, while they're over here sleeping on their thrones with a pile of gold in their hands. If they feel like the career will suddenly end, none of it really matters to them, so they act like they're scared and try to pretend. And we haven't even finished with the scams, as we haven't even gotten to the fans.
You can see the quick change up in those last 2 bars, and also just in general a lot of mistakes in this song. I still think it's better than the absolute garbage that is in the Maize, but yeah, you could hear a lot of mistakes, but it's still, and it was cancerous to record, but I still am willing to re-listen to this song, and I actually do kind of like this song. And a lot of the original stuff that was supposed to be in this song, this song is kind of a Frankenstein of sorts because there's a lot of stuff that was changed, was deleted, or just absolutely added onto, and you'll see some of that in the remix.
So let's go.
Again, another song that was supposed to have like a chorus right here, but I just decided to completely scrap it And in favor for an instrumental, and honestly, good instrument. It's a pretty solid one. It also doesn't help that it's just an absurdly long bass instrumental either. So, and when it came to this kind of stuff, I played this, I believe, 3 times in the song, in which I should have only played it twice, because I was more concerned about, oh, hey, the timing is going to be weird, when it really wasn't. Unless I changed it, right? Yeah. It was really weird, and I don't know why I did that, honestly. It was probably because of a weird timing thing that I thought, but
The fans rappers recently are over here acting like they can't see, making everything worse than it needs to be, acting if it's sports and it's the MVP. Oh no, our boy's in trouble. Let's go ahead and make it double. We don't have to worry about the rubble, cause we'll be safe in a little bubble. Some people need to shut up, seriously. Don't need you up here spreading your disease. Wanna be morbid? I'ma kill you in the sleep, then I have to dump a body in the street. If you ever want me to calm down right now, you have a better time making me not loud. I'm a superhero from a comic book, Tough Power, and I'll make sure that your world's gonna sound. As long as you waste superhero from a comic book, Tough Power, and I'll make sure that your world's gonna sound.
That specific part from Some People Need to Shut Up Seriously to Just Then, that was originally Bob the Sandwich line. Matter of fact, this entire song was completely different. It was supposed to be actually called The Sandwich until I changed it to Crunchy Boy, and it was still supposed to be like a Bob the Sandwich type thing. And then eventually I came to this conclusion after I scrapped all the stuff with the Amaizeing, and yeah, so now we're here.
As long as you waste stupid, go ahead and harm. It's gonna always be fine in order to disarm the people from saying all of the stupid things. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna have to go and dethrone King.
And that entire last part there was never even in the song until like the very end. So you can tell that there are a few more mistakes in there because I was thinking of the original lines when I was recording. I don't know why I didn't re-record this. Probably just got tired of re-recording it, honestly. I could say that for a majority of these songs. But yeah. Last song with lyrics in this entire thing until I get to, again, the remix. But yeah, Crunchy Boy, a solid song, could have been better. I did like it. I still did like it, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, could have been better, could have been worse, way worse. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to play the entirety of Jump in a Rave. I'm just going to talk about a few things. Like, number one, I had no intention on creating a 10-minute song originally. It was just supposed to be something kind of cool, a nice little instrumental I could use. I originally wanted to put lyrics on the song, but I decided not to because it was way too difficult, and I also didn't figure out how to balance everything out sound-wise as well. So everything just kind of had the same sound levels when they really shouldn't have. But yeah, I created this, and I originally made it so that it was 4 bars of the samples for everything, but each sample was approximately, I believe, 16 seconds each. So I ended up with things that were like 1 minute and 4 each before it even got to a transition, and you could see that a lot. Like there was one transition over here because it was the very beginning of the song, and I wanted to have that in after 2, and you'll easily see like the it's gone now, and it just would really slowly change up, bring stuff back, get things out, make sure like it's a really slow song if you really think about it, because it's a lot of the same beat not doing anything for the longest time. And yeah, honestly, Jump and Rave, solid song. Could have been way shorter if I really wanted to, and I decided to keep it 10 minutes because why not? It's an instrumental, I can do whatever I want. But yeah, one of the first things I actually made for this album as well, or for this EP, that I never intended on putting on the EP. I originally just intended on having 4 songs, and those being the Amaizeing, In the Maize, Ultimate, and Crunchy Boy. And seeing that I had made Jump and Rave, I just decided to tack it on because it'd be kind of cool. I was also originally going to have something called like the Tono Cypher or something like that, and it was just going to be me and all my voices, as if in the style of a rap cypher. I also decided to scrap that, and now I have not only this but also a freestyling beat that I might end up using way later in the future, or maybe soonish, I don't know. But yeah, 2 instrumentals, one of which was actually used in this album, the other one is still in the backlog of stuff that I can release. And yeah, also, I know I'm 6 months late on this, my boy Bungie, but here, have a heart and a thumbs up. I never even saw that comment, I'm gonna keep it real with you. And now, into the last song, Done by Design. Now again, I'm not going to play the entirety of the song because for whatever reason, at least on Altono, I keep getting copyright by it, and it's not like a strike or anything, but it is like, oh yeah, you're using this other song when this is my original song. I'd never even heard of that song that the other person made. Yes, it does sound similar, but it's overall my original creation, and I never intended on it sounding like this other song. So, it's rather unfortunate. I'm going to talk over this a lot, and again, also not going to play the entire song. This was actually the reason why it has parentheses instrumental rather than just the song title like I did with Jump and Rave or any of my other instrumentals that I've ever had. And it's because that this was originally supposed to end up going to one of my friends because he was looking into getting into rap, and he was just like, oh yeah, I want a beat, and I have and we were thinking about song titles. It was me, Jafish V, and the other guy. I think I would just say our savior. X. I'll just say X. But yeah, me, Jafish V, and X were talking about something or other, and we eventually were just like, oh yeah, Dumb by Design or something like. I don't exactly know or remember how the title came about, but he's just like, oh yeah, that'd make a cool song title. And I was just like, I could produce a beat for you. I'm starting to get into beat making. I'm not really much of a lyricist myself, but I could make a beat for you. And he's just like, yeah, that sounds cool. So I made Done by Design. I sent it to him. It was never used, and it was also just in general never had lyrics on it either, which is kind of unfortunate. But so I just decided to have it as a bonus because why not? It's not being used, it's not going to be used, especially now because X is now planning on getting like more experiences and more of just stuff in general before he tries to get into rap, because he himself has stated that he doesn't have much to write about or rap about, so he's gonna wait, and I can't wait to see what he does have when he does get into it, or if he gets into it, because things change. Sometimes things change. But yeah, nice bonus, nice instrumental, and I kind of do hope that one day it is utilized in a song. But I guess we'll end up seeing down the road. But yeah, let's go on to the final part, the Amaizeing. I wanted to combine, and when it came to the Amaizeing, made a different style. I was able to do like a sort of comic book style when it came to the video editor, so I just decided to go through with that because it's kind of cool.
It's
looking.
time for a remix.
I also took some inspiration from Swollen Members and their remix. I can't remember what the song was called, but they do something similar like that kind of. And I really just wanted to combine everything all together.
Let's go.
It's going to be
I think it's
even more
time that
cancerous
you know
for the-
me and
It's going to be even more cancerous to the more when I do it with the More and More album. Although I'm not going to use the entire album because I'm already doing 2 remixes with the More and More album, and so I'm going to be leaving Ultimate, the Withered stuff out of there, and probably a few other things here and there. But for the most part, it's just going to be everything except those few songs in the More and More remix. But yeah, the Amaizeing remix, and I plan to remix practically all of the albums, EPs, or just big groups of music that I have, because that just sounds cool. Might as well,
neat. Let's go. We get a place that is sustainable. I'll make a toast to all that's explainable, ascertainable. Maybe I am trainable, conversational. I too am erasable, sensational. I am just too avocational, generational. I am very educational, gravitational. I am very inspirational, observational. I too am vocational.
That last part of that portion of the remix was probably the worst to do and re-record. Because it would just suddenly speed up the beat, so I'd have to speed up the lyrics, and eventually I just made it work, and it ended up working, and I'm glad it did. You could also hear me say the names of the songs or do something interesting with it, except for this first one, because it's kind of in the title. It's a self song, so it's all fine with that one. But yeah, you could see like a nice little introduction to each portion of the album, and I believe if I remember correctly, it goes in order of the album as well. So nice little thing there. Yeah, and there's not much I could say when it comes to the lyrics because I've already discussed all these lyrics already. So yeah.
Ultimate.
Scratch that, it does not go in the order of the album because I decided not to have any Maize for a while. For a while, I just completely excluded any Maize and Crunchy Boy, matter of fact. It was just gonna be like Maize.
I am the ultimate and I'll make an estimate. I'll be the advocate and you'll get the rest of it.
You can also tell which songs I like more and more than the others because of how long each portion is. Like the first portion only lasted to like a minute. This is like almost at 3 minutes just about. You could tell what I liked more than what in this remix. You could also hear the instrumentals of each different song in the background as well, just to give it that similar
I'm the
vibe.
king of the herds, and I heard you have stuffing me, saddled with rhymes running as I am winning. Bridled with my starlight and my shining soul. 10,000 years to come will help me reach my goal. The boneheaded king, and I'm never getting old. If you reply to my call, I'll admit you're very bold. Right, it's time to play the game. I'm gonna tell you right now, you should go back to where you came.
And you could actually hear that that's like what the original speed of the song was supposed to be. You could just tell because it sounds way better and I sound more rehearsed, and also everything fits well in there. and it's not just super slow for no reason.
If you don't like me, well, tough luck, cause I'ma hit you with my rhymes like a pickup truck. Also, if you wanna beef, then let's go, cause I would like to know more info that I'll show. Yo, I'm not gonna make no promise.
You also don't have me going, no more info that I'll show. You also have that, so.
There's no more cause I'm good from the hood and very misunderstood. I'm insane, deranged, and 12 pounds of cocaine, knowing that I'm mental, all up in the brain. Sorry, poachers, that I had to steal your rhyme. It was just so good, and I gotta get more time.
Also, the way I would determine what to put in each section of the remix is essentially I just take my favorite parts out of the song and just put them in here. It's probably going to be a bit different for More and More, whereas I'm just going to take any choruses, instrumentals, and maybe a line or two out and put them in rather than anything else, because also I'll most likely not have any features on the remix for More and More, because it's supposed to be an album of mostly just me doing whatever. But although there are features throughout the album that is More and More, I will probably not be having them. And if I do end up having them, it will be a very small role, because it was really difficult getting everyone together in the first place, especially when I already had the album scheduled for October 25th. So it was really difficult to try and get everything scheduled out, and so that I had time to edit and get everything scheduled before the limit had been reached. So yeah, I can try to get features on the remix for More and More. There's no promises, but I can try.
You don't want to be seen as rust, cause you'll be left behind in the dust. It is now the end of your days, cause you look like you're lost in the maze. You don't want to be seen as rust, cause you'll be left behind in the dust. It is now the end of your days, cause you look like you're lost in the maze.
The reason why that part's so loud is because I couldn't get it down. I tried everything I could to get the sound and the volume down on that part, but for whatever reason it just wouldn't. So I was just kind of stuck like that. Also, when it came to that part, dang it, I forgot what I was going to say. Let me actually just back up.
Be seen as rust, cause you'll be left behind in the dust. It is now the end of your days, cause you look like you're lost in the maze. You don't want to be seen as rust, cause you'll be left behind in the dust. It is now the end of your days, cause you look like you're lost in the maze.
It's Altono.
Maize alto, putting it down hard. It's crunchy, boy.
Before it gets into the Crunchy Boy section, yeah, that was actually supposed to be in the original Crunchy Boy. That little intro that, yeah, it's Maize Altono, putting it down hard. It's Crunchy Boy. Yeah, that was actually supposed to be in the original, and you could tell because there's still the guitar instrumental from in the very beginning that lasts a while, because it was supposed to be filled with me saying or giving an introduction to the song and being like, oh yeah, it's happening. But I decided not to, because one, it didn't fit with the instrumental, two, it kind of sounded cringy with that specific song, but here it's just sounds a lot better, more plausible, and just easier to do. So I went ahead and did it. And honestly, sounds way better.
Too many beefs going on at once just cause someone can take an insult, and most of it is to get attention, and here I am struggling to get a mention.
You'll also find that I do tend to do multiple different voices anyways in songs, because I find that different voices fit different tones or themes or just whatever. When it comes to song, you'll see that a lot in the More and More album as well. But yeah, I tend to just fit the song with whichever voice I feel fits it best, and in the remix it's many different voices. In each song it's probably a different voice, and honestly it just kind of works out. and I like it that way.
Tension, a lot going around, especially with the fans who are about to go down and drown in some stupid stuff. Always over here acting like they're tough. Look at me, I'm in a beef with a big rapper that's pointing at me, so everyone give me attention, please. Now, you've jumped and raved, you've been amazed, and now, you're dumb by design. Remix.
And the reason why I left the Done by Design portion for last, not only is it 2 minutes and also interlaces with Jump and Rave, but also because it's a bonus song on the EP, and because it's a bonus song, I left it out of the instrumental for the rest of the song because it's a bonus. Also, I just kind of it didn't really have a place to fit in with the rest of the music because for the most part everything was fast-paced rock or just energetic, while this was a more mellow, cool, nice, chill beat as opposed to everything else. So that's why I also kept it towards the end, because it's a near complete change in theme when it comes to the remix. And you could just easily tell how it goes from remix, and how it just completely slows down from there. I'm not gonna have the rest of the song playing, obviously, but yeah, I do plan on remixing all bunches of songs that I do. So yeah, I hope you all liked the oh yeah, that's what it was. You can see in the description here that yes, this is a re-upload. Some of the audio wasn't coming out great, so I fixed it, hopefully. It is fixed, and this is actually the second time I uploaded this song because originally I went into the video editor I have up here, and in that I ended up essentially just like I turned the volume up to 200%. Little did I know that practically bass boosted the entire thing and made everything sound ugly. So what I ended up doing is I just put it back to 100% and then exported it from there. And now I have this with only 9 views, whereas the original had like 12 or 13. I'm willing to make that sacrifice of views as long as I have the quality to be able to put something out there. I did like advertise it again in like servers and places that I'm at so that I could be like, oh yeah, I fixed it, everything sounds better. And I didn't even come to realize that the audio was messed up until after it was uploaded and public. So what ended up happening is I took it down, uploaded it the next day, and not many people saw it because of that. And yeah, also because they thought, oh yeah, I've already seen this, so I don't need to see it again, which honestly makes sense. And people were probably wondering why I was advertising it a second time, and it's because of the audio problem. And it's now fixed, obviously, you could tell, because it's not ugly and bass boosted. But yeah, that was the Amaizeing. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening into the Amaizeing in the first place. For the most part, I was actually pretty proud of this EP, aside from that one. But for the most part, everything, I liked it all. It was all really fun to make. It was all fun to put together. There are a lot of things that I wish I could have done better, and that's probably gonna happen with any bit of music I've made. We don't talk about the Christmas song. But yeah, there are a lot of things that I wish I could have done better, and I believe I did do better in the More and More album and just future projects in general. And I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Maize Alter and just music in general for me, because it's something that really excites me and also just really nice to think about look at, create, and it's all real fun. So yeah, there is the Amaizeing explained. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, like the video. If you don't, you could leave a dislike if you want. Then why are you all here at this part letting me tell you to leave a dislike? You already watched the entire video. Why? If you didn't like it. Why would you do that? Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more music, more updates, more things like this. Tell me how you like this sort of style content and me explaining my own music to everyone. Because I found this really fun. I would like to do this again. And yeah. Make sure to comment down below, subscribe, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it, and I will see you all in the next, I'll see you all around in the next one, maybe. I don't know. We'll just see where this goes. Also, I have Mexico filter. I don't know how that happened, but it's there.